Hey guys, so today I found another video on a mom beating her 3-year old son, and it was caught on the neighbor's surveillance cameras. So all this footage was recorded on the neighbor and sent in. It's actually really disturbing. So I'm gonna play a few clips of it, and then we're gonna listen to a little bit of Jesse speak from Law and Crime.
A mother is allegedly caught on camera throwing and kicking her 3-year-old son. We speak with the detective sergeant on the scene of her arrest to go over how this unfolded and what happens next. Welcome to Sidebar, presented by Law and Crime. I'm Jesse Weber. This is a bad one. We're going to go over to Sunny Isles Beach, Florida, where 29-year-old Yulia Starozuk has been arrested. For what? Felony child abuse charges for allegedly throwing and kicking her 3-year-old son. And guess what? This was apparently all caught on doorbell camera footage. Now, we aren't going to show you the video because honestly, it is just so disturbing and graphic, but it is exactly like I said. She appears to throw him down multiple times, kicks him while on the ground. There's another video where she allegedly holds him down as he tries to get up. Now that she's been taken into custody and she's being held in a $5,000 bond, her child is in the care of the Department of Children and Families. I want to bring in right now Detective Sergeant Javier Estevez, who was one of the responding detectives on the scene when this mother was arrested. Detective, thank you so much for coming on to talk about this. Now, it's my understanding you were the supervisor on this. Can you just tell us, how did this come to light? How did it come to the attention of law enforcement what she was doing?
Thank you for having me. Initially, she called the police department the night prior, and it appears she had some sort of a nervous breakdown and did not want to be in the custody or was asking for help, financial help for her child. Officers responded and investigated. There was no signs at the moment of any injuries or anything. The child was asleep in bed. The next morning, a concerned neighbor who saw the horrific video. It's one of the worst things I've seen in 22 years as an officer. The neighbor came by and shared the video from their doorbell camera, and we were able to see all the footage that everyone saw.
So let me just be clear, that footage that we've seen, that is from the neighbor? I mean, where was the pushing and the kicking occurring? In Yulia's residence or the neighbor's residence?
No, in the hallway of the apartment complex.
The hallway of the apartment complex. I got you.
Right.
And so the neighbor saw this and immediately was like, what is going on? Did the neighbor have any ideas anything like this was happening, or was the neighbor just shocked?
The neighbor was, look, anybody who sees anything like that is going to be shocked.
Right.
It's human nature. The neighbor, we interviewed the neighbor. The neighbor said that they'd heard screaming coming from the apartment. They never imagined it was from a child. When you watch the video, in an eerie way, the child is very tolerant of the suffering which leads me to think that this occurred more than once.
We're going to get into that in a minute. You know, look, just from a human point of view, I'm watching this, and anytime I see a case of a child being abused, it's horrifying, but to have it come from the mother, allegedly, is just, it amplifies it. And so if you can walk us through what the actual arrest was like and how that went down.
So we went to the office of the apartment complex. We got her information from the management. They're very cooperative with us with any investigation we've had there. We contacted her on the phone just to see if she was home, or we knocked on the door. We didn't want to give ourselves away. Obviously, with the nature of the call, it's important that we wanted to do the right thing for the kid and take her into custody and intervene. The management gave us the information. We went in, knocked on the door. She opened the door, unsuspecting to what we were there for. She thought it was for a different call. I forgot what we told her. I think it was a fraud. And when she opened the door, after seeing her that it was the same person in the video and asking her if she had a kid in the apartment, she said yes, he's asleep in the room. We went in and checked on the kid, and we put two and two together, and we took her into custody. At that point, she was hysterical and begging us not to take her. She didn't know what it was about. When we talked to her outside, we didn't want to talk to her in front of her roommate. She became apologetic and said this is the only time that's happened. So on.
Did she first try to deny it and say, I don't know what you're talking about?
No.
So when you approach in the apartment and tell her that she's under arrest, she didn't immediately say, I'm sorry. It was after, when you had a chance to talk to her. I mean, was she just in shock at first? Because I was wondering if she first denied it and then said, no, I did this, but let me explain.
Correct. She didn't know what we were putting her in handcuffs for.
Right.
We told her to just cooperate with us. She became somewhat cooperative at the time. When we walked her out and explained it to her, she's like, oh, this is the first time it's happened. This is the only time it's happened. I'm a good mother. And she just went on with that.
What kind of injuries did you observe on the child?
Scratches and bruises all over the upper torso. We didn't get to, from the waist down. We wanted to leave that to the experts. We had more than enough of what we needed at that point.
I know it's really early, but any way to determine whether or not these injuries, and I know there was also redness on his cheek and the forehead, if this was all caused by the pushing and the kicking, or whether this was, as we're about to talk about in a minute, from a prior incident. She had said that she only this was the first time this happened, or the only time it happened, but any way to determine if those injuries were older?
It's I don't want to get too speculative
Sure.
with regards to the injuries. I can tell you that what we saw from the child and the child's body is consistent with the pushing and the kicking. In my opinion, from my training, there seemed to be older bruising on the child's body. But again, I'm waiting on the investigation from experts who do that for the state. But in my opinion, there may have been some older bruising, which are indicative of blood or visibility. So it wasn't consistent with all the other bruising in the body. So again, from what I saw, in my opinion, there may have been previous instances of child abuse.
My gosh. And what was the best you can, what was the child's reaction to this? I mean, how did you inform the child what was going on?
We didn't. Initially, when we met the roommate, who also lives, her roommate, she has a female roommate who lives in the apartment. Listen, we're cops. At first, we were kind of skeptical about her knowledge. As the investigation went on, it was clear that I don't think the roommate had any idea that this was happening. Maybe not to that extent. Maybe more of a level of corporal punishment. I hate downplaying it, but I'm just being honest with you. The roommate was extremely cooperative with us, came to the station. The reason for that was we had a big barrier. They're immigrants from Ukraine who came here because of the war. The child only speaks Ukrainian. And the child with the roommate was very comfortable. And that was one of the things that we wanted, at least during the investigation, especially after the traumatic incident the child just went through the night before, to make him feel comfortable for the next few hours and not, he's a 3-year-old baby boy. I'm a father of 2. My heart was broken. I've been a cop for 22 years. Completely heartbroken from what I saw.
It's horrifying. It's horrifying. We're not.
Could you imagine seeing a kid get beat up like that, 3 years old? Okay, so I found the video of the mom actually doing it actually abusing her son on the video camera, and it's kind of hard to watch. So if you don't have the stomach for it, kind of skip this part. But don't forget to like and subscribe, and let me know what you guys think in the comments. And I'm gonna play the video. It's just a couple of minutes long, but it'll show the whole clip of everything that she does to the baby in the video.
Off the top at 6 tonight, shocking video of a brutal beating that you saw exclusively first on Local 10. A 3-year-old boy being attacked by his own mother. The mother telling police she attacked her son because he wouldn't listen.
And the police chief says that he was disgusted when he saw the video. Local 10's Rosh Lowe live now at the Sunny Isles Beach Police Department with much more on the story that you saw exclusively first on 10. Rosh.
To begin tonight, I want to warn everybody this video is extremely graphic. If you are going to be disturbed by this video, turn away. I'll tell you that veteran officers, when they saw this video, they were in tears. And that's all you can do when you look at this little 3-year-old being beaten. All you can do is cry. This 3-year-old is defenseless, and with each strike, your heart just breaks. And then to think cops say this is his mom. A mom pushing and kicking her 3-year-old son down a hallway.
This is not going to be tolerated, ever, ever. Actually, I'm angry. The message, when I saw the video, I'm very angry.
Her name is Yulia Storza.
My friends, I think my friends took him, but I cannot live without him. You know, I admire him. I cannot imagine my life without him.
Cops say the abuse was captured on a neighbor's doorbell camera, who reported it to police.
See something, say something, perfect example.
The 3-year-old is now in the custody of the Department of Children and Families.
I'm a single mom, and it was the only one incident where I let my emotions took better of me. Never abused my child. It happened only once.
Now this mom will have no contact with her child.
There's consequences, and you're going to pay the consequences for this.
With all the pain in this story, and there's just so much, think about the angels that were out there for this little 3-year-old. Think about the angel, the neighbor, who did the right thing, who saw that video, took it to police. Think about the police officers who immediately questioned this woman and made an arrest. She says in court she loves her child. Now she can't see her child. She's behind bars still, serious charges of child abuse. We're live tonight on Sunny Isles Beach. I'm Rosh Lowe, Local 10.
Let me know what you guys think. Like I said, it was real hard to watch, but